Okay then everybody, welcome to my kitchen. I did promise that I would show you some recipes and something a bit different that you might enjoy in the kitchen. Things that I've tried out and worked out that you may not have tried or come across or even thought about. I used to chef many moons ago, and I'm not a qualified chef, fully qualified chef. I'm more of a self-taught chef. I do have a brother who now lives in Vietnam, who is a world-class chef, did the Queen's birthday party and all those sort of things. So I've sort of like learned a bit from him, picked up what I've done over the years myself, and basically just fumbled my way through it. So tonight, what I'm actually going to do it is Friday. Normally we have fish and chips on a Friday. Obviously with the corona, there are no fish and chip shops actually open. But I do a version of fish and chips. I call it my Posh fish and chips, because it's just not all covered in batter. So give it a try, see what you think. I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing and how I'm working it, and I hope you enjoy. So the situation is then, what we start with is obviously the chips. We need to get those on first and foremost. So I have a chip fryer here. I have a saucepan and a wok. You'll see as they all come about. I'm going to turn on the chip pan first. Now I did warm this up earlier, so it's sort of like virtually ready to go. I'm going to take the lid off because I can't use it to fry with. I've already pre-cut some chips here. I don't know if you can see them. There they are, but I've just left one. I like to cut them sort of like reasonably thickly. We like a good chip. I enjoy a good solid chip, especially when you've got it in a good old lump of buttered bread. So there you go. So I've cut those. I'm going to drain the rest of these off, and then we're going to dry them out. The worst thing you can do is put wet chips into a fryer, because oil and fat will fly absolutely everywhere. I used to be a fryer for Harry Ramsden's in Blackpool, and that's where I learned never to do that. So I'm just going to dry these off. Dropped one there, let's put that one away. That one's obviously no good, it's been on the floor. So let's get these patted down, dried out, and just aired off so that they are nice and dry and safe to put in hot fat. I'm cooking mine in dripping. Good old lard, beef dripping, whatever you want to call it. I know it doesn't sound the healthiest option on the planet, but it does add a lot of flavour. And going back to my Harry Ramsden's days, that's all they ever cooked in. The fish and the chips was all cooked in beef dripping. And it's just, like I say, that flavour. But you can obviously use vegetable oil, etc, etc. The choice is yours. It is completely down to yourself. So there we go. I'm going to pop those in there. Just let the fat come up to speed. And first thing we then really need to do is start looking at the fish. Okay. Now the fish tonight I'm using. Here we have it. I'm using some salmon. Now you don't have to use salmon by any account. You can use any meat. And the reason that you'll be able to use any meat in this one is because the flavours are going to be coming from the various different ingredients that we're going to be using. But I'm using salmon, which is actually skinned. And the point is tonight I need to unskin it. Now I don't know if you're familiar how to unskin a piece of fish, so I'll do my best to show you. Let's have a look. What you first and foremost need is a nice, clean, sharp knife. Clean being the operative word. Let's give that a rinse. Just some potatoes with that. Not really matters because it's going to cook off anyway. So how to skin a piece of salmon. What you need first and foremost is make sure it's nice and sharp. Now we can all use one of these and it's all that sort of stuff, but you probably won't have the skill for that. And neither do I really, because I'm self-taught and nobody ever trained me to do it. What I use is one of these things, and it actually works brilliantly for me. You just run it through there half a dozen times, and bang, you actually have a very nice sharp knife. So here we go. Here's the trick. I learned this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I've cut into where the skin is, and I'm holding the knife at about 45 degrees down on the chopping board and just sliding it through, and very gradually, keeping the pressure on, you will take away that piece of skin. Okay? Don't waste it. Chuck it out for the cats. I throw it out for the foxes. They're more than happy with their welcome little treat in the middle of the night at about 2 o'clock in the morning, or whenever they decide to turn up. So we'll just do the second one, see how easy that is. But again, the key is a sharp knife. So there you go. All we're going to do with that now is slice nice and sharp. I'm going to make it into sort of like nice little goujons, little pieces, and there we go. We'll do that. Sometimes I might be a bit quiet because I'll be concentrating on not cutting my fingers off. So there we go. We'll break that down into nice little goujons, and that's what we want ready for it later on. I'll just throw those back on the plate there, and they are all nice and ready to go. Let's get some hot water going. Nice bit of hot water. Clean our board down again. There we go. So how are you all doing through the COVID? Not particularly healthy, not particularly nice, and not a nice journey, but we're doing our best to get through it. I don't know if anybody of you know, but I do a bit of magic as well as a few other bits and bobs, so I've been learning a bit of that. So that's the fish. Okay, so I'm hoping now that this should be up to speed. It should be up to speed as far as temperature is concerned. And because everything's going to be moving fairly rapidly, I'm going to drop the chips now because we're looking at about 15-20 minutes for them to be done, and I'm hoping that everything comes together in that time. So we have some nice dried off chips into your chip pan, and there you go. You can hear the gentle little sizzle, so that's quite a comforting sound as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is this is all going to be moving rather fast. Want some nice chilies, fresh chili, a couple of fresh chilies, and some spring onion, a couple of spring onions, a couple of cloves of garlic, and some ginger. Okay, now the ginger, this is fresh, it's not expensive. I think I spent 76 pence on that very large lump. We're not going to use anywhere near that. It's not even considered that you have to buy that amount. I'm going to cut a little lump off there, off the end, piece of ginger. Okay, so I'm going to peel. I probably should have done this at the beginning as a bit of preparation. We'll peel off the garlic, and there we go with that. Second one, I hope you like garlic, that is. Some people do have a bit of an issue with garlic. So all I'm going to do is slice the garlic like so, slice that off nicely, and basically just take the back of my knife, let's get rid of all the rubbish and the bits and bobs, and use the back of my knife just to smash that down, okay? Nice and quick. That's the genuine crushed garlic. There we go. So we have some crushed garlic there, which is absolutely superb. You want to bob that into a little, absolutely superb. We'll put that in there like so. With the ginger, just peel the ginger. Some chefs I've seen have actually left the ginger unpeeled, but not completely keen on that one. So peel the ginger, like so. Get rid of that, I will tidy up later, don't worry. Again, slice this down, nice and thin, or as thin as you can, all things considered. I'm rushing. And again, use the back of your knife, nice and hard, and smash it, okay? And we have crushed ginger. So again, some might feel this is a bit dodgy. You don't want to. Try and use the back of your knife, okay? The back of your knife is the bit rather than the blade. It will happen. I'm rushing slightly because I feel under pressure. But there you go. So you've got a general idea there of what's going on. Okay. The escapees. And there we go. As you can hear, the chips are doing absolutely fine. So there we go. So that's a bit of ginger, and again, you can bob that into a little jar. Don't worry if you've got these, you can just put these on a little plate, just line up a little plate and put everything on there. Let's have a little bit of a clean down. Who's watching what tonight? It's Friday night. Anybody watching Peter Kay later? I certainly will be. So clean that down. So then with your, again, my sharp knife always comes, well, nice sharp knife. Spring onions, nice and sliced. Finely chop them. You can do these 2 at a time, to be fair, if you so wish. Well, depends how confident you are with the knife, really, doesn't it? So there you go. You can make it fairly rustic. There's no precision involved in this. My brother was watching me now, he'd absolutely go mental and go, you're not doing that right, that's not how you cut anything. But he's in Vietnam and I'm here, so he can shout and bawl all he likes, really, can't he? But there you go. So that's... there's a slightly bigger bowl for those. Put those away. So that's a chopped spring onion, looking absolutely superb. Lovely. So far we have some ginger, some garlic, some spring onion. And now with the chilli, you just need to be really careful with the chilli. I'm going to finally chop this. I'm holding it. What I don't want you to do is when you finish playing with this, that you touch your face. We shouldn't be touching our faces anyway because of COVID-19. But if you do it with chilli, you will regret it, believe me. You will seriously regret it. So, I'm trying to slice it as finely as I can. Like I say, I'm not a pro. And you're left with that. If you start with that and hold on to that as best you possibly can, and you don't touch anything in the middle, then that, if you did accidentally touch your face, you should be okay. But I again tend to take that and get rid of it straight away. And there we have our chopped. I haven't done it particularly well. Again, my brother's going to go absolutely mental, but there you go. So I'm going to do a second one. Let's see if I can get a better motion of actually. If there's any chefs watching, they will have a field day with me, but there you go. I think it's probably the pressure of all this. So yeah, I'm going to be watching Peter Kay this evening. There you go. Throw that one away as well. So there we have it. We now have some chilies. We have some ginger. We have some garlic, and we have some onion. Don't worry about the seeds. I never really worry about the seeds. They all go into the pot. So there you go. It's a little brief clean down. So. That's effectively it as far as your prep is concerned. The state of my floor is disgusting. And there we go. Right, so chips are doing fine. Done a few more than I probably would normally, but they're doing absolutely fine. Let's get that saucepan right over there. So now's the time to start cooking. So here we have a nice little wok, and this is where it all speeds up slightly, and it does, because we're actually going to get cracked on with the cooking process. So we need a little bit of oil. Now normally I would use olive oil, but I don't have any, and I thought it best not just to go to Tesco's to get some olive oil ready for this evening. But I do have some vegetable oil, so I'm going to use a bit of vegetable oil. So there we go. A splash of vegetable oil, that's first and foremost. Let's get some heat on. So let that come up to speed. Check on these little fellas. Probably could do with a bit more fat in there, in all honesty. I'm going to top that up. And throw that in. The reason I've had to do that, in all fairness, is normally I do 3 potatoes. And because of this, I did 4 large potatoes. And there's not quite enough fat in there as... but hey ho, that's what it is. So, we've got this on the heat. We also want to do some peas. So here we go with some peas. So I'm going to get some water on the go. Frozen peas are absolutely fine. Hope you're not getting bored already. I'm not a comic. About a handful per person. I'm cooking for 2 tonight. So 2 handfuls. Saving some of these chilies. I'm saving some of these chilies for those peas. A lot of you probably will have gone to Nando's over the years. I'm sort of like copying their version of their peas. I think they call them maco or macho peas. And basically that's what we're going to recreate. So this dish will be what I consider to be posh fish, chips and mushy peas. But we'll see how it all comes out. So let's get them on the go. They're away. Probably could do with a bit extra heat. Right, so we now have bit of hot fat, but I'm going to hold fire for a sec. I'm going to hold fire because I need these peas to come up to boil. In the meantime, I did notice in my fridge while I was getting out the salmon that I had one of these in my fridge, and no good cook, Lloyd, whatever his name was, he always had a glass of vino in his hand. Well, why not have a can of Carling? It's the way it is, isn't it, really? So I'm going to crack one of these and bob that there, and hopefully enjoy that. I'm trying to think of a really good joke that I could say, but I don't really know one. Like I say, I'm not. I do magic and I do singing and I do that, but I don't do the other. So I'm in fact going to move that over there and throw a bit more heat into this by a long shot. Take that one down. So chips are on the go. Ooh, that was a bit of a close one. And what we're going to start doing now is some of these little ingredients. So in goes the ginger, in goes the garlic, in goes spring onion, and in goes some of those lovely chilies. I want to save a few just for the peas, and in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to finely chop these down to try and take them a little bit further so that they are really, really fine. And these are for the peas for later on. The peas normally would have some parsley and some fresh mint, but again, because of the situation that we're in, I didn't feel that it was the right thing to do to go all the way down to Tesco's or anywhere else just to buy mint and parsley. So I'm sort of like making it up as I go along. not so much with the chilli because that's supposed to be there, but what I'm going to use instead of fresh mint, I'm actually just going to use some good old British mint sauce, and we'll just put some of that in there instead. So here we go. We're starting to cook on gas now. I think we're going to start moving. Okay, so there they are. If you get any big lumps, just break them up. It is fairly rustic, as best you can. There we go. Turn that heat down slightly. There we go. We don't need to burn, we just want to soften, that's all we're after. Chips doing absolutely fine. Ooh, crikey, come on, go. There we go. Chips are doing fine. Peas are on the way up. That's looking good. Now one of the keys for this is soy sauce. I like soy sauce, and I really do, but that's part of the element of this dish. It's supposed to be a sort of stir fry type thing, fairly healthy, fairly nice. Lovely bits and bobs in there. Bit of soy sauce to add to it, so in we go with some of that. Let that get going. And shortly soon we'll be adding the fish, but I don't want to add that in too early. I don't want it overcooked, I want it to be just relatively nice. So the peas are coming along nicely there, that's absolutely fine. Now they're nicely warmed through. Did have a sieve here earlier, I don't know what I've done with the sieve. Here it is over here, excellent stuff. What we're going to do, take those off, drain those. Okay, I'm going to take about a third of them. Okay, keep those separate. The rest are in there. I'm taking a good old-fashioned masher. I'm going to mash these down. Okay, straightforward. Mash them all down. Crush them, mash them. Take a fork, take a masher, do whatever you want with them. Basically, you're just cracking them. You don't want them as mashed potato. You just want to break them. Okay. So that's those. Take a good knob of butter, an excellent knob of butter, low heat here. Nice little knob of butter. Get some chilies in, and normally you would add fresh parsley and fresh mint with these, but as I've said, I don't have that. Okay, they look to be nicely reduced down. Now I'm going to add the fish to this while they're coming together. Okay. Like I said, I've never done this before and I feel under so much pressure it's absolutely bonkers. But there you go. So there we go. And a good stir with the butter. Go. Give these a good toss and turn. Medium heat. Lots of soy sauce there, and away it goes. It's my version of, I keep doing that, don't I? Get those little banks around. Chips are doing fine. So it looks to be taking shape nicely. We'll leave that there. Let's get cleaned down slightly. Let's have a clean down. Excellent stuff. Now I don't know about you, but we do need to warm some plates up. So I don't know how you warm your plates up, but mine, a bit of a cheat really. I use a good old toaster. Stick my plates on the toaster, swap them around a couple of times and they're lovely and warmed. That's how I do mine, so I'm going to be putting those on now. So, a couple of plates. On there you go, so they're nice and warm. Normally with fish, chips, mushy peas, what do you normally have? Don't say a cup of tea. I normally have some bread and butter. And here it is. Good old loaf. Actually, this came from Colts up Grange Road today. And superb little place too. I've lived here for 25 years and it's the first time I've ever walked into the place. A couple of days ago, and today I went again, and it's situations like this where you know that we don't need or want to be going into a supermarket because it is dangerous, because there's that many people, but you actually start to think to yourself, well, where can I go to get the basics, i.e. bread, milk, eggs, etc., and you start thinking outside of the box to your normal supermarkets. And Colt's just up the road, absolutely superb for those genuine basics. Start looking at your butchers, just for sausages, bacon, whatever. Your farm shops, they tend to be quite good. I've suddenly realised that Blue Hills up at Birkinshaw, I know it's a bit of a trek, but it's there and it's quite handy. I'm not on commission, by the way. So there we go. Right, so they're warmed through. I'm now going to add back the third of peas that we took out and add them back to the heat. So we've now got some form, or what I consider to be some form of mushy pea. Okay, swap the plates around so that they all go through. And it looks like we're coming to a bit of a close to it. We certainly are. I don't know how you have your fish chips, but I do like a bit of salt, a good bit of vinegar. I enjoy a good bit of a salad cream on my chips, but other people might like a bit of tomato. So the choice is yours on that one. So basically it's about time. You can see now the salmon has coloured up and it's cooked through, and it is actually quite nice. You don't have to use salmon, you can use cheaper cuts of fish. The cheaper the better, because at the end of the day we're not looking at the flavour is more in all the ingredients that we've added to it. So I'm going to now plate up. That's effectively it. I've done what I've set out to do. We have some warm plates, 2 warm plates in fact. A small plate, just ready to sort the chips out. There you go, all look to be nicely and done. Set those out on there, let those drain on there, and effectively now I'm going to turn everything off, and we are now going to serve. So this is about it. We have my version of Posh fish chips and mushy peas. Haven't quite done the bread yet, but I'll do that shortly. So let's see what it looks like. There's the chips, peas, absolutely superb, look amazing. Those, and then down for my fish. Smells absolutely amazing, and believe me, this does taste absolutely fantastic, and it really does. In fairness, probably used a little bit too much oil to begin with, but there you go. That, my friends, is my version of Posh fish chips and mushy peas. Hope you'd like to give it a try. Get yourself a bit of bread and butter to go with it, and a nice little can of lager, or if it's a good day, a cup of tea to go with it. I'll take this through to the wife right now, and See you another day. Going to be doing Yorkshire puddings next, so if you fancy tuning in for that one, look out and you'll see me soon. Take care, bye now.